Hello, everybody. What is it? Good afternoon. This is Leslie Pope of the BEADSMITH here to bring everyone another fun and fabulous project. This one is called the Nib-bit Daisy Bracelet. So you get to make these nice little cute components with Nib-bits. Like I said before, a few weeks ago, I was going to find more Nib-bit projects for everyone. It's a really nice bead. I think it's an underserved two-hole bead. And as always, you can find the pattern at the BEADSMITH/I love beads, and you can look under Nib-bits and maybe seed beads, but I would try Nib-bits. And you could probably make one of these components like literally in 15 minutes. I had so much fun making them. So this is what the real bracelet is supposed to look like. But of course, I had to get fancy and do a shorter one with the partially finished bracelet ends. You know, we just love the partially finished bracelet ends. And, you know, it's better if you don't want to worry about, whether something's going to fit or not. And then I had to outdo myself. So I made a pair of earrings, one little component, couple of jump rings, and your ear wire. Boom. Earring, 15 minutes. I'm like, who could want for more, right? So you don't need a lot of stuff, which is always a good thing. So it could be a stash buster, or you could change colors or whatever. But for each component, you only need 6 Nib-bits, a few 15s, a few 11s, and I almost forgot the size 8s. That would be a problem. I'm like, I'm missing something here. So there we go. And I cut about 20 inches of fire line. And the only other thing that you would need is maybe, for the jump rings, you would need a 5 millimeter or 6 millimeter jump ring to, hi Laura, to connect your components. And that's it. So if everybody is ready, I will get started. So we're going to pick up 6 Nib-bits. And as usual, make sure that with any 2-hole bead, all your bead holes are clear. And we're going to start in the tapered end of the Nib-bit. And let's see, that's 4. There we go. I always start with the hole that I'm not using first. That way you don't string things kind of wonky. That's one of my little quick tips, right? So you got your 6 Nib-bits really fast, and you're going to sew through them all again. Extra thread passes are always a good thing, right? There we go. And one more. There we go. Hi, Janet. And then snug them up. Make a couple of overhand knots to secure your thread, right? 1 knot. 2 knots, and then you're going to sew away from your knot. And I just, a couple of beads. And then you're going to reverse and go back through the top hole. So now you were starting this way, and now you're going that way, and then you would weave in your tail and then bead. And so I'm not going to do that on camera, so I'm going to chuck that aside. Ta-da! And bring out my already completed one. Yay! It's almost like a cooking show, right? So we're going to start by adding an 11 through each of the top holes of the nib bits. So, of course, it's 6, so everything's going to be... I'm out of frame, thank you. Sorry, people, I have a very small window. Is that better? So, 6 times. So that's number 3. Number 4. 5. Here we go. Oh, come on. I have new glasses. I shouldn't be having as much problems as I was the last time. And number 6. And then for the next step, you're going to sew through the first 11 that you strung and back through one nib bit, because now you're going to add a second 11 next to your first 11. So it's the same thing. So you're going to pick up 11. You're only going to sew through the nib bit, not any of the 11s that you previously sewed through. So, and that's 2. There we go. 3. 4. Thank you, Leslie. The other half of Team Leslie who keeps me in line. It's much more fun when we get to do them together. But I guess next year when all this COVID-19 mess is done, we might be able to do it again. So now, as you see, you have 2 11s sitting next to each other on the wide part of the nib bit. So you're going to sew through the first 11 that you strung, and the next nib bit. And now we're going to, well, that's it. Yeah, and the next 11. Whoops, sorry. Okay, so an 11, a nib bit, and an 11. Because now we're going to start adding this little part across the top. And so you pick up a 15 and then an 11. Yep. Okay, I'm chasing beads. Okay. And an 8 and an 11 and another 15. And then you're going to sew through the next 11. So that gives you that little bump of beads that's going to go over top of the nib bit. And so we're just going to, I'll move those over, just going to continue around. So we're going to do that 5 more times. 15 and 11 and 8 and 11 and a 15. And we're going to go through the next 11. So these are sort of the back 11s. And then we're going to do the front 11s, but we're setting up the back 11s. Okay, this is number 3. Number 3. Everything's all cool. And 15, 11, a 15. Do. Whoops. Come back here. Boy, I'm having issues today. Nothing like a little pressure, right? Next 11. And you don't even have to pull it, too taut, because you're going to come around and add beads and go in the other direction. So you don't want to pull it too tight. Okay, that's number 5, and one more. Whenever I do this, I feel like I'm in an exercise class. Does anybody remember the jazzercise classes from the 80s? And one more, and 2 more, and 1 more. Okay, so this is the last one. This is number 6. And then you're going to show through the first 15 and 11 and 8 on this little thing, the little embellishment that you added. And so to finish up, we're just going to add the 11s and the 15s all the way around. So your first step is an 11 and a 15, and you're going to sew through the front 11s, the 11s that you hadn't sewn through. So this is going to sort of make like a crisscross on top of the Nib-bit. And then we're going to pick up a 15 and an 11, and you're only going to sew through the 8. Then 11 and a 15 to complete that first cross. And so now you can see that you look like you have an X with the 8 in the middle. And you just do that the rest of the way around. So first you're going to pick up a 15 and an 11 and sew through the 8. And then to complete it, you're going to pick up an 11 and then a 15. Yeah, oh, come on. 15, there we go. And sew through the next 11. And you're just going to do that all the way around. So first it's an 11 and it's a 15 and an 11. And then it's an 11 and a 15. And that is it. What did I say? Pretty fast and simple and cute, which I like a lot. I save my serious beading projects for when I have a little downtime, which isn't very often, but hope springs eternal. But in the meanwhile, I can do some of these fast and fabulous projects that are so graciously given to us by various distributors. Okay, so that's the last 11. And then I still have to pick up a 15 and an 11 so we can close up that X. And so we're going to go through that 8 and ta-da! A Nib-bit daisy is born. And so that was less than 15 minutes with me talking. So then of course you would just run through a few beads and tie off your thread and make another one, or as many as you want. Or you can make an earring, or you can make a long bracelet, short bracelet. I think it would be a cute necklace. I also think it would be cute if you like did a double band, because that would be my my super wide bracelet. That's my first love. But this is still cute. And sometimes you need dainty stuff. And voila, that is the Nib-bit daisy bracelet, or one little component. So, like I said before, you can find the pattern at thebeadsmith.com/I love beads under the Nib-bit heading. And as always, stay safe. You can find all these lovely little beads and components and jump rings, and of course our partially finished bracelet ends at your favorite bead reseller. And they appreciate your sales, and we appreciate your sales, and we all need to stick together. I know times are tough, but beads make everything better. And in the meantime, stay safe, keep beading, and remember, we love beads and we love beaders. Take care, everyone. Bye.